Manity. We had a hot camera. But what I was going to say, and we back here, Project Humanity, with Zach Service, the mayoral candidate for Jackson, Mississippi. I think he's the youngest of all the candidates right now. In Project Humanity, we believe that the children, even the younger youth or more mature children,
right.
are still the future. Let them lead the way. Something I was going to say concerning bringing investment into Jackson.
Yeah.
So, just from an observation standpoint, and this is the true history. This is not me making up something. If I was looking at Jackson as a business opportunity to invest my money in, I'm looking at the people who I'm going to have to work with in that community.
Yeah.
And Jackson, you have to understand something. Your first elected council person has trained everyone who came behind him. Now, because he was first, everyone who came behind him, he trained them. And I can probably look at how that conversation went. We have to get more voice in the community that look like us. We need more representation that look like us. And as we replace those old council persons who were Caucasians, and we brought in our new darker skinned representatives, the leader was the first elected official of color. So now, it makes more sense to me when I look at the city of Jackson, because whoever your leadership really is, that's what your city gonna look like. That's your visual. That's what your city look like. So it makes more sense to me now. When I see and hear Kenneth Stokes talking, it makes more sense as to why Jackson looks like this. If I was a business person, I'm not bringing my business into a city that keeps putting him in office.
Right.
It tells me that this is what the citizens think is a good representation of leadership. Raw doo-doo.
Well, look, and
No, let me say one more. I think that I saw a spark in investment in Jackson when we got rid of the two guys that were fighting.
right.
I saw a spark in investment, but I will say this respectfully to David Archie. I appreciate him coming out and apologizing for his actions.
Yeah.
That showed me a real man right there.
Yep.
He took responsibility for what he did and showed accountability for it. I respect that a whole lot. I hadn't heard anything
Don't
from
get
Mr.
that
Calhoun.
much. No, the only thing we've heard from Mr. Calhoun is vote John Horn.
Right. So, once again, I'm not here to hold tongues. I'm here to show you what I've seen through my research. Your city looks like Kenny Stokes. That's what it looks like. If you want representation and investment to come into this city, then we have to give them a different picture. We can't give them raw doo-doo, raw boo-boo.
Unfortunately, he tried to sabotage that housing project over off Livingston Road, the one they're trying to put by the medical mall.
Yeah.
He tried to sabotage it. He called it Beverly Hills in the Hood. He said it's going to cause gentrification. It's going to cause crime to go up. They're going to start stealing cars. And the moment one of these white women get RAPED, it's going to be a problem for us. And he went against, Dr. Robert Gibbs, who was spearheading the project, and completely blindsided him in the community meeting.
But
and
anybody who is in office when they bulldoze the dirt back into Lake Hyco don't need to talk to me anyway.
Right.
Because you totally lost an opportunity to reinvest in a spot where they had a yacht club.
Yep. It's crazy that we filled up Lake Hyco, man. Let that happen.
And I don't want to hear you tell me, well, they had to return it back to its natural. No, they asked you, what would you like to do with the lake?
Yep.
So, and you said we want some more houses, some more shopping centers we can't afford to shop at right now because AI is we didn't think past the past.
Right.
See, we still using the old playbook, and AI is here now. And that's why I said we need younger people who can see a future that includes the future.
Actually, I'm the only candidate I know of who's actually already got an endorsement from an AI company out of Seattle, actually. And we have a plan to integrate AI into the government systems, into the traffic systems, the maintenance of the.
It hadn't been done already?
Not out here. In places like Redmond, Washington, it has.
Places like Atlanta, it has. The traffic flows because it can see your car.
Right now, downtown, you got to wait for 10 different lights because none of them are synchronized.
I'm going to tell you something funny. I went down.
I hate driving through downtown.
When I went to go get a tag, you know, kind of talking to the people,
right?
Project Humanity, having a good time. And I was telling them how you can read the tag and know if you have insurance. In Atlanta, 1996. When I was in college, they could do it. And the lady was like, "Really?" And this is in Jackson in 2022, maybe. And so I'm in there really talking it up and saying, I can't believe they can't do it. It's for the safety of the police officers. It lets them know who they are actually dealing with. It gives them a lot more information. You know, it was after I spent that probably 30 minutes just talking about that system that Atlanta, and it was a lot more I talked about. Then I heard that they were going to give it to the Jackson Police Department. In the 2020 something.
Talking about the license plate readers? And they're still not. They still don't have all the ones they need. Like every vehicle's not equipped with it right now, and they're having to wheel and deal to get what they can. While we're sitting with almost 300 vehicles on the auction lot right now, and do you know that when they auction those vehicles that JPD has impounded, as well as the broken down JPD cruisers, you realize that money doesn't go to them; it goes back to the general fund because they pay everything for JPD out of the general fund instead of giving them their own fund.
I know you said you're going to be trying to research and find out where our money has been going for all these years, because I want to know how the people of Jackson said, I don't mind paying an extra 1% so that I could get fresh pipes put in the city.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that.
And no, but I'm saying, where is that money at? And my thing is, don't tax us again because you're not going to do what you're supposed to with the money.
But I can tell you this about the 1% tax commission. The mayor is always talking about, you know, how, well, they need to stop picking just the projects in the east side and Bellhaven and Riverside and all that with the 1% tax money. Well, what the mayor won't tell you is that the 1% tax commission, it's 5 positions that are picked. One person is appointed by the governor. One person is appointed by the lieutenant governor. How many people get appointed by the mayor, do you think? 3. So the mayor appoints the majority. So if the mayor has a problem with where they're pointing the money, that's because he picked those people. The same mayor that talks negative about Northeast Jackson lives in Northeast Jackson.
Well, I'm not a fool. And I heard that we went to Callaway and the street in front of Callaway recently got paid. I'm not a fool.
That's his.
I know how this right before election campaign commercial works. And that's what us people who are out here voting have to realize is the election's coming. We know what to expect. How about do the right thing all year long? Every year that you're in office, setting it up for the next person to take the reins and start running.
But that's not their goal. They're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about how much can I get right now, or they're thinking about their personal future. See, I already said it. Unless God tells me or the citizens really basically beg me, I don't want to do more than 3 terms. I want to, by that 3rd term, I'm already getting ready to endorse somebody that's hopefully younger than me.
And how old are you now?
I'm 27.
27, so that'll be 3 and 12.
So
it's a 6-year term.
4-year term.
4-year term, so that's 12. You'll be ready to put 49.
No. I'll be in turn going on 40.
Going on 40.
So by the time
my math.
So by the time I'm going on 40, I'm trying to hand that off.
Getting ready for your 50-year fishing and jet skiing.
Oh no, sure. I ain't doing none of that. I'm gonna be probably running for governor next, probably.
Well, again, we're looking at it, to me, as a positive. If you put the things in motion, you should be ready to try something different. I'm to the point, I'm 51, so I'm thinking in 8 years, when I turn 60, 52 this year, I want to be ready to hand it off and be phone calls only. Helping from, like the distance. Because I trust you guys to not destroy your own future. See, what I'm looking at is you would not destroy your own water, air, knowing you're going to be here for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, see, if I'm an 80-year-old senator or a 70-year-old mayor, I'm doing what I can to get some money so I can give it to my grandkids because I ain't going to be here much longer.
Your motives and your incentive to do the right thing is different.
Like, you're not going to be a 27-year-old trying to go to war with Iraq.
No.
Because your friends will have to go.
Yep.
But if I'm 70 years old and I know my kids and they friends are not going, well, then guess what? We finna go over here and find some WMDs that we know don't exist. And that's what we have to realize, is tell the truth. We keep putting the same people in. They keep doing us wrong. It's our fault. So I'm going to speak the truth. Jackson looks like Jackson because Kenny Stokes has been your trainer since 40 years ago. That's what you get. And you can say whatever you want to. Them the facts. We're not moving forward because nobody cares about their grandkids' education. They don't. They think they did their job with their children.
Right.
And their children need to do with their grandchildren. So at 70 years old, if I'm in leadership, I'm not concerned about a closing of another school.
Right.
Who cares?
And it's sad. I mean, I don't. To those who believe the Bible, which is a lot of people here in Jackson, or at least they claim to, the Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So
we just found that out in recent, because didn't nobody read that part of that.
So, and it's in Proverbs. Solomon, supposedly the wisest man who ever lived, said that.
Yeah, the only thing they know about Solomon, he was rich, had a lot of wives.
Right.
That's
So he's a good man leaves an inheritance for his grandchildren, and the decisions we're making is setting back our grandchildren 10, 20 years.
No, see, didn't you hear what I just said? I'm 70 years old.
Right, you don't care
I'm
about
finna
that.
leave an inheritance to my grandchildren. I don't care about yours. See, a good man leaves an inheritance to his grandchildren. His.
Right.
It didn't say help Zach.
No.
See, according to American corporation law, it is my job to make sure that the stockholder, the stockholder would be, you gave to my campaign. You a high donor. You support me. That's a stockholder. I'm gonna make sure your grandchildren are good. Oh, you was my opponent?
Right.
Oh, screw you. Your streets will never get paved. You didn't vote for me. Oh,
and that's the wrong mentality. I mean, that's pettiness, that's spite. That's not a servant's heart. And there's people in this campaign using the buzzword servant leadership, but I know that I know of conversations they've had where they ended the conversation when someone questioned how what they did harmed their community, and they said this conversation is over and left. And they're the top runner in this race. Well, and when you have that attitude of, well, if you don't agree with my decisions or you don't support me, then I have nothing for you, you're not truly trying to serve